Odessa, the third largest city in Ukraine. Vladimir
Russian
Putin clearly thinking that if he controls the Black Sea, he ultimately can.
Do you ever wonder how geopolitics dispute will also affect maritime industry? My name is Cindy Linjia Singh from International Affairs Management course. My chosen topic is operational disruption of Ukraine ports due to Russia-Ukraine conflict, implication for maritime transport and supply chain. This topic is interesting as this dispute affected various dimensions in maritime industry, safety and security, and global supply chain. Port is a platform that allows shipping activities like cargoes, handling, bunkering, and essential maintenance to be carried out. Port is the heartbeat of global trade as it plays a significant role in supporting global supply chain that facilitating seamless movement of goods between land and sea across the continents. Among major seaports in Ukraine are Odessa, Chornomorsk, and Yuzhny. Before Russian invasion in 2022, Ukraine is one of the major exporters in agricultural products like corn, wheat, and sunflower seed products. Thus, trade activities has occupied 15.9% of Ukraine's pre-war GDP for 2019 to 2021 and been supported by agricultural sector. After the invasion, it's not only affect Ukraine's economy but also the global supply chain. There are several factors affected Ukraine ports operation. First is the closure and physical damage to port infrastructures. According to Maritime Insight News Network, there were 321 port facilities has been damaged in Ukraine since July 2023, and 20 merchant ships has been also been damaged. Besides, there were also 30 port workers has been killed. Thus, the Ukraine ports are lack of proper infrastructures and workforce to operate. Under the attack has forced the ports to stop operate due to safety and lack of proper port handling infrastructures. Next is maritime safety risk in Black Sea. Till today, there are no stable ceasefire agreement and political uncertainty still ongoing. This means risks still remain high and unpredictable for vessels approaching Ukraine's port. For instance, drone and missile attacks on vessel and civilian ports infrastructure, and floating mines and unexploded ordnance that make near shipping lanes to rerouting, slow down, and reducing port throughput. Thus, the International Maritime Organization has categorized the conflict presents a serious and immediate threat to safety and security of crews and vessels operating in Black Sea and Azov Sea region. Third is the withdrawal of shipping service and insurance coverage. Besides the uncertainty and safety risks, insurers who cancel standard war coverage for the region has forced ship owners to pay high extra premiums, which later the fee passed on to cargo owners, making shipping prohibitively expensive and creating significant logistic hurdles. Along the safety risk and uncertainty, the high insurance payment will also influence the ship owners not to call at Ukraine ports. This will reduce number of calls to Ukraine ports as ship has rerouted to Romanian, Polish, and Turkish ports, which later has increased cost of products and transit time. The physical damage to Ukraine ports under this conflict has caused disruption to maritime logistics and shipping schedules. Due to operational shutdown of Ukraine ports, it has reduced vessel arrivals and cargo throughput in Ukraine's ports. Due to lack of proper port infrastructures, the vessel will reroute to alternative ports, which this will increase number of ships arrival in Anchorage and increasing the waiting time and pay higher demurrage costs due to insufficient port infrastructures and workforce to handle those ships and led to port congestion in the alternative ports. From this figure, we can see that commercial vessels' arrival to Black Sea ports in 2022 has significantly changed the trade dynamics. Ukraine ports has affected the most as recorded a fall as much as 44% between Q1 2022 and Q2 2022, while Moldova received the highest growth as Moldova plays a significant role in moving supplies to in and out from the Ukraine. Second is global supply chain and trade consequences. Due to uncertainty risk at Black Sea, many ships chose to reroute to alternative ports instead to Ukraine ports. This will increase Ukraine's agricultural product in transit time and cost. The blockade at Black Sea port forced Ukraine to use rail and river road, which are slower, carry small good capacity, longer shipping distance, and higher cost compared to the sea road. Thus, this has led to global food price to spike and worsening food security. Besides pricing issue, there was also shift in port usage in Ukraine. For instance, 29 million tons of cargo had been handled by Danube ports in 2023. This amount is 2 times more than previous year and 6 times more than by 2021. Danube also forced to partially reorient their work to coastal navigation for offshore transshipment in Romania's Constanța port. Beginning of the conflict, Constanta has become one of the main ports for Ukraine exports, where Ukraine goods arrive in Constanta by road, rail, and barge from Danube ports. This later had made Poland and Romania become important transit destinations for Ukrainian exports that are able to send Ukrainian products to other European countries. Where in this diagram, it shows Romania is the highest cargo shipment through railway and followed up by Poland in 2024. Thus, this illustrates significant shift in trade pattern, good price, and logistic use occurred under this conflict. The third impact is the environment pollution. Due to the ship's reload, it will increase carbon emissions due to longer voyage distance. The longer the voyage distance means the bigger fuel consumption and higher carbon dioxide emission per voyage. For instance, under a study conducted, the carbon dioxide emissions in Ukraine, Black Sea has decreased an average of 17.88% annually, while in Romania and Turkey, carbon dioxide emissions increased by 36.30% and 16.08% annually. Besides, there is also risk of marine pollution in terms of fuel oil leakage from damaged or sunken vessels like the Tuapse oil terminal strike and tanker attacks incidents. There are several potential solutions can be implemented. First is establish controlled maritime corridors. As we know, Ukraine ports not only crucial for maritime industry, but it also act as the backbones of global supply chain. For example, the Black Sea Grain Initiative that allows safe maritime export of Ukrainian grain and other foodstuff via a humanitarian corridor. Through this initiative, it allowed more than 32 million tons of cargo being exported from Ukraine, and there are also more than 725,000 tons of wheat being exported to African countries. This corridor has led to global food price index declines, where from this diagram, it illustrated cereals and vegetables oil prices were high in 2022, but under this initiative, it has lowered down both of the goods price index in 2023. However, this initiative has been continued by Ukrainian established corridor. Thus, established controlled maritime corridors will not only stabilize global food price index and supply chain, but can also encourage arrival of cargo ships called at Black Sea ports, which shown by this figure. The humanitarian corridors will enhance shippers' confidence and safety, as these corridors were established under international law and cooperation among countries. Furthermore, this can also reduce the voyage distance and pollution to the environment by preventing missile and drone attack on ships and reduce distance traveled by ships. Thus, the reduced distance of travel of ships can reduce the emission of carbon dioxide per voyage. Second is maritime insurance and risk-sharing mechanisms. By having insurance, it can protect ship owners against losses from missile attack strike and mines in Black Sea. This can allow Ukrainian goods keep moving through Odessa and other ports despite attacks. With this financial protection, the shipping company is less likely to cancel voyages and can stabilizing Ukrainian ports through output. While for the insurer perspective, it can exercise risk-sharing mechanism. Instead of increase the fee for insurance, insurer can share liability with multiple insurers, governments, or pool to prevent single actor to carry all the burden, which can lead to bankrupt when an incident occurs at the Black Sea. While to overcome the congestion in alternative ports, digital documentation and pre-clearance system can be implemented by ports. This can enhance effectiveness and efficiency while handling cargoes in ports and reduce vessel waiting time and demurrage cost. From this case study, I understand that the port is the heartbeat of global trade and backbone of global supply chain. In maritime industry, it is not only affected by global economic conditions, but is also interrelated with geopolitics and environment. Maritime industry operates borderless, linking producer and consumer globally. Even though the conflict is still ongoing, however, through the cooperation being done by countries and international organizations have shown positive outcomes. Thus, cooperation among countries are important to ensure goods flow smoothly around the world and easily be accessed. That's all from me. Thank you.